Hello YouTube. This is Patrick, it's after work. And I'm in my new car. Alright. Very happy with this thing. I got 2012 Civic Hybrid to replace my 2004 Civic Hybrid. And it is pretty sweet right now, let me tell you. Right now in my work day, it like shows me the averages of how I'm driving and stuff, and it like gives you a score like in a video game for how well you drove. And right now, on my way home from work today, I've driven 80.7 miles, and my average miles per gallon was 42.3 miles per gallon. That's pretty good. In my old Civic Hybrid, I'd only get miles per gallon that high, like in the middle of summer. Yeah, this is a really sweet ride. I'm glad I bought it. It just would have taken so much money to do all the body work the 2004 Civic needed after the car accident, which the insurance would only reimburse me 60% for. But that is okay, because I was able to pocket the difference of the insurance money, and I didn't trade in the 04 Civic Hybrid, so I still have it to sell. They were only going to give me like $1,500 for it as a trade-in, but I'm pretty sure I can get more like $3,000 for it, so that is what I will try to do. I got a bunch of new admissions this week, and I admitted a couple of home care patients for other nurses, so that was fun. I had a day when I only had 2 visits on my schedule, so I volunteered to do an admission, which was fun. I hadn't done an admission in a while. There was a couple of things I forgot, like typing in the directions to the person's house for the other nurses. I forgot to do that. So that's what happens when I don't do it all the time. And I guess there's some like there's a hearing in the my state's, I think it's House of Representatives, about the proposed changes to the hospice regulations, so we can get an inpatient hospice built. Our agency is planning on building an inpatient facility. But I guess some of my coworkers are going to the legislative hearing to give testimony in support of the new regs. And after taking a healthcare policy and ethics class, and taking a nursing theory class right now, I guess like technically that is the sort of thing I should be getting involved in. But it's on a Friday, and I'm tired, and I'm just gonna relax and hang out and play some video games. There's plenty of my coworkers that are much more experienced than I am that are going to voice their support for the thing, so I will leave it in their capable hands. And we just did like a team project for the nursing theory class about 2 different nursing theorists. One of them was Sister Callista Roy, and then the other one was Dorothy Olem or something like that. And there were 4 of us in the group, so we split up, the work divided between the 2 nursing theorists, and I turned it all into a PowerPoint presentation at the end. And I'm still getting an A in both classes. That's pretty good. I got docked a few points for silly things I forgot to do on a couple of assignments, but my grade is still above 90 in both of them, so that's pretty good. And then in the other class, the Human Search for Truth and Justice, there's another group project for that's due in I think it's 5 weeks. And I found out that one of my old high school classmates was in the class with me. I didn't even realize it, because it was an online class, and she has a different last name now, so that was kind of cool. We're going to be doing a project with her. And it's going to be a group project, and we have to imagine that somebody's giving us $10,000 to do like a public, a project in the public good or something like that. And one of the classmates suggested, let's do something on MRSA. And everybody's done that to death. Everybody does a project on MRSA. I'm happy to say, have never done a school project on MRSA, just because it is so obvious and everybody does that, so I've never done that. But my former high school classmate, who I believe also graduated from the same nursing program I did, like a year later or 2 years later, her idea was much better, I thought. Her idea was access to pain medications in the developing world. And I actually did a little bit of research into that for my hospice core course presentation. And it is actually a really interesting subject, so I think the group is leaning that way. It's something really ironic that I came across. Maybe I don't know if it's technically irony or not, but one of the countries that with the worst, with like the biggest demand for narcotics and the worst supply of it is Afghanistan, which doesn't really make sense to me because I guess they cultivate a lot of opium there. I guess it's just not being it's not being used as medicine for people with pain. It's being shipped over to Russia, sold by the mob or whatever. But it is kind of a tragical farce there that the country with the world supply of opium doesn't have adequate pain management medication for the people who live there. So maybe we'll do that. I mean, it really looks like a really dumb assignment, and it looks like it was really intended for like brick and mortar students, not for distance learning students. So I guess like the hypothetical situation is that somebody approaches you with a $10,000 grant to enact whatever kind of like public good project you want to do, and then we have to come up with a presentation, like a pitch for it, and then a paper with the details. And then part of it is that we have to include 3 people that we know. The assignment uses the word friends. We have to include 3 people that we know and describe. They have to be in like different disciplines. They have to have majors or degrees that are not our own, and describe how they would contribute to the project. And this is really meant for people who are living at school and their friends all have different majors, but we're all distance learning students. And one of my teammates was griping about this, and I'm like, I mean, this is I said maybe this was a tactical error on my part, but I said openly in the discussion forum for this class, this is an easy assignment in a 100s level fluff class, and we can just make people up, because if they don't have time to personalize this class for distance learning students, they're certainly not going to have enough time to go hunt down our hypothetical friends and interview them about our imaginary project. The imaginary project being the $10,000 grant project, not the PowerPoint and the Word document, which are unfortunately all too real. But almost halfway through these 2 classes, so that's something to be happy about. And then the first summer session is going to be, I think, an English elective and stats or something like that. So shouldn't be too big a deal. Should be fun. So maybe when I park, I'll take you on a little tour of my new vehicle. It looks a lot like the 2008 Civic, really, but actually, this is supposed to be a nursing vlog. Let's not belabor my car. I'll take pictures of my car later and upload them to Facebook or something. I'm sure you're all not all that interested in my new car. I went from being pretty apathetic about it, because if it wasn't for that accident, I'd still be driving that 2004 Civic. I would have, the 2004 Civic Hybrid, I would have run that car into the ground. I didn't even make it to 100,000. It was like 98,000, 99,000 when the accident happened. And but it was starting to idle kind of rough, and I'd forgotten to put oil in it once, and the car stopped and it had to get towed. And it is an 8-year-old car, and I guess it was time to do this. But I was apathetic at first, but now I really like. I'm really pumped about it. This is a pretty awesome car. Everybody compliments me on it. Well, I guess that's it. That's all for now. See you next time.